Today's guests are Todd and Tina, a Minnesota family friendly music duo making fun, goofy songs for the young and the young at heart.
Welcome, Todd and Tina, to the Artist Conversation.
Thanks so much for having us
Yeah,
today.
hello to you.
Yeah, great to have you guys. We're going to have a fun conversation. Um, I want to start, Todd and Tina, I want to start with the origin and how it started, right? So you two have known each other for years and first worked together on a car wash jingle, if I'm not mistaken. But the
Yeah.
band really took off. The band really took off during the pandemic. So what was it about that moment that made this go from a fun idea to something that you both wanted to build for real?
Well, yeah, a car wash commercial that only lasts about 30 seconds. So even more than a set list than that. Well, we actually just got, I was doing jingles and whatnot, and we seemed to click musically, and we could both tolerate each other's personality defects, which helps. Um, whenever you're working with somebody, and she's a teacher, I'm a songwriter, musician, and it just kind of, I don't know. I guess we kind of figured out the same direction where we wanted to go.
Well, and I think too, the pandemic, not being at school, not being around people, not having that creative outlet, at least for me, it was really nice.
Mm.
When someone called me one day and said, "Hey, you know, I wrote this really unusual song about a dermatologist who also wants to be an astronaut. Would you just come over and sing it for me just for fun?" And I'm like, "Sure, I'd love to do something creative right now." And so I went over and we recorded this one song, and he's like, "And I have this one about French toast too." And one song just kind of turned into another and another and another. And all of a sudden it was like, "Okay, we have 10 songs recorded. What should we do now?" And Todd's big philosophy in life is, just throw it out into the universe and see what's going to happen. And so we came up with our band name, and which was easy because that Todd is Todd's real name, and my full name is Christina, which is where the Tina
Yeah.
comes from. And so
It also ages us. We were born in 75 and 81.
yeah,
Like, bam,
that's right.
there's the window.
Yeah. And we just kind of put it out there to see what would happen, and started playing a couple little shows
Yeah.
around the cities, farmers markets, just anybody who would listen, right? And I think we got paid in fruit one gig, from the farmers market.
Here's a food basket. I mean, wow.
Yeah, actually, it was fun at first because we were always in the children's music genre. But when we play farmers markets, they don't know what to expect. So people would be like, "I thought you were some Dada-esque philosophical band with some hidden intention." And we're like, "No, we're singing songs about dermatologist astronauts and panda bears."
Yeah. So it was really one of those things that I don't think either one of us expected was going to happen, or that we would be kind of where we are today with this project, but it's still going and we're still having fun writing
Yeah.
music and performing. So
That is amazing. That is amazing. I mean, and especially liking what you guys, to keep doing what you guys love to do and, see it being accepted and respected and, all of the above. And, by not only, I'm sure, because we were talking to some of the other people we had, and sure, I'm sure it's not only the kids, but I'm sure it's their parents and all the other people as well, right? So getting that recognition, I think, should be really make you feel like, oh, I think you're doing something right.
yeah, because kids aren't just going to go out actively seek us out, right? Grown-ups are the ones bringing
Yeah,
music to
they've
them.
they've got I know there was one person at our show came up. Hopefully, it's more than one. But at our show, they were like, "What did you have? Like an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old?" And we were the only music both kids could agree on in the car, and the parents. So that's very flattering when it's like, okay, a little bit older kid, a little younger, and the mom could still enjoy it too.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
So
it's
fulfilling. Yeah.
and we've just been doing this is our
This will be our fifth summer.
fifth summer. Yeah, I can go from farmers markets where they just kind of ignored us, and now we're already booked up for the summer, and it's
Okay.
April.
No, you actually lived in the olden our humanitarian generation where the barter system used to work. So you had that exactly sing. I will sing for you. You will give me fruits. That was.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
with more than just food for the
Yeah.
bond. So that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes pancakes,
Yeah,
waffles,
yeah.
you
No,
know, we're
it's
still
really
working our way.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Todd, you came from a jingle writing, and Christina, you already living in the world of elementary music education. So, what did each of you immediately recognize in the other that made this beautiful creative partnership click for both of us?
Well, Todd's a songwriter. He's the
Okay.
one that comes up with the song ideas, and from there, I usually he'll send me the demo. Hey, I thought, and just this today before we got on with you, we were talking about a song that could come to Todd in the middle of the night, and he had written down and recorded, and so we were kind of working our way through that. But Todd's really the idea guy, and I'm the editor,
Mhm.
and so from there, I can kind of make it and mold it so that it will fit
Yeah.
that children's
Yeah.
music genre.
Usually now
Right.
when I give her the lyric sheet, I also give her a red pen. And it's just like so I don't get too attached to it. I'm like, and she's a teacher too, so she's used to it. It's like, here's a red pen, fix it up, give me a grade.
Well, I feel
And
like too, Todd is a wordy person. And so
Mhm.
when it comes to
long,
words,
long-winded.
and
Okay.
you need that repetitive hook, right? And so I think that's where my elementary music background comes in, right? I know what kids are going to be able to remember and sing right away and get stuck in their head. And so it's been really fun. I mean, my students at school love Todd and Tina, and they love when we have a new song or a new video, and they get so excited. I'm like, new Todd and Tina today, everybody, and they're like, yay! And they run over to watch the
Only
video.
if you behave.
No, I
Only.
never withhold.
We need the views.
That's
Come
right.
out of detention. Watch the video.
Um, But I knew we had something really special when the very first summer we had started recording, and one of the first songs on our album was called Silly String, about a kid, spraying silly string at school, and the hook was really catchy, and I just kind of played it for the kids one day as we were kind of doing a freeze dance game. And all by the end of the song they were all singing the hook, and I thought, okay,
Hmm.
this is going to be really something unique, and kids are going to really enjoy. And so I think that's how we complement each other really well.
Yeah, I mean, she's a very positive, uppity person, a likable person, so that definitely helps bring in the you know the
Yeah.
show because like after shows they'll want to go and hug her. And I think I was like one kid invited me to come see his salamander or something after a show. And usually I'm just tearing down the set, and it helps to have a likable person, especially with a kids group.
No,
And
absolutely. But she's also
we all
the
have like
singer. But she's also the singer. So normally
singers.
people go for the.
That's right.
Hey, thanks for letting me feel better.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
I've been a singer all my life, so I know how that goes.
Yeah,
No.
You know.
like
Uh,
she's going to Florence and the Machine tomorrow. Everybody knows Florence. No one knows the Machine.
That's right.
Yeah. That is so cool. It sounds like you guys have so much fun doing this too, and you bring fun into a lot of people's lives. Talking about the craft, and also writing for kids and grown-ups, um, because the grown-ups come with the kids. Your songs, when I heard them, they're wildly silly on the surface, but they're also incredibly catchy, right? I mean, it's like kind of a really cool combo over there. So how do you write something that makes kids laugh while it still gives adults enough wit and craft to stay fully into it? Because the parents are right there, right? I mean, in some of these outdoor locations and everything where you're performing.
I think lots of it's. I don't think we dumb down our lyrics. At least I don't think we do.
And I think really
This is about as smart as we're gonna get.
and I think you really captured the essence of what we try to do, right? We're writing funny, silly songs kids are gonna enjoy, but like you said, we're still having that element of wit and
Hmm.
that can some grown-ups when they're really listening, notice and go, oh yeah, that was kind of clever. I hear what
Yeah, and that's kind of the nice fine line because I think both of us, if it's too simple and straightforward, we'll lose interest. And obviously, if it's too complicated,
Mm.
it's not going to hit
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then,
yeah,
like something like our song Hot Dog is about hide and seek. And then we throw in the bridge about how they found a guy in a wall, like
yeah.
a long time ago, and he was dead. And, we thought that was funny.
But we don't actually say that.
We don't
Fun,
say it, but
right?
if you're paying attention, you're like, oh, wait, what
Oh,
happened to that guy?
he was the greatest hide and seek of all.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of the fine line. And I think it helps with just trying to write catchy stuff.
Yeah. And I think too, like, when we have each other to bounce ideas off of, other than just being yourself in a room, right? Trying to figure it out. I think that helps.
Mhm.
That's where
And
ideas.
how do you guys like? I'm kind of trying to just even know more about the songwriting process, right? And Todd, maybe you come up with the ideas and everything, and then Tina, you're the one who are writing the lyrics. And I mean, is it like a lot of back and forth over there? Is it like, oh, let's sit together and jam, or how is it? Is it more traditional, or is it like, oh, I sent you a file, now you can come up with a vocal line or a melody or lyrics, or how does the whole process? I'm just
I
kind of curious.
usually I'll send her a demo either on the phone or just something I've recorded quickly. I've learned not to
Mhm.
get too detailed on the demos because everything's going to get switched anyways. But I'll come up with a lyric sheet. I'll play her the song the way I think it should be, and then she'll say, "Okay, that's a good start. It's got the teacher thing. It's got potential," and then she'll take a hold of it, and then we'll just bounce back and forth. And I've learned not to get too attached to anything. I think the longer we've done this, the more we go back and forth because we both got to perform it. We both have to like it. And usually I'm all about like the song, the idea, and the catchiness. And I'm not too attached to any of like the tweaks. She's like, "Oh, we should do this. We should do that." And
Well,
cool.
I think there too, that's where we start to look at like chord structure, right? Um, well, we've used like how can we change this chord structure to sound a little bit different than your basic three chords that everybody plays all the time? And we do it too, right? That's how children's music is crafted. But now it's figuring out almost like a puzzle of how are you going to make that three chord structure stand out from anything else that you've been doing? Or how are you going to make it sound different from anything else you've been doing? And so I think that's kind of the trick. I think, especially the longer we do
Yeah,
this, that's the puzzle of trying to figure out how can we make something new using those same
building
chords.
blocks.
Yeah. And have it still be catchy in a new way and entertaining in another new way. And so I think that's the challenge that we're at that stage
Yeah.
in our
Got it.
Yeah,
process.
and I think now we're working on our 5th album now,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden, I think the 5th record, we wrote 11 songs, the 2nd record, we wrote 12 or 13, 3rd record,
Hmm.
we wrote 15, and now I think I've
Wow.
got a list of, like, 40 ideas, and we're whittling those down into, like, 10, because we don't
And
wanna
yeah,
repeat ourselves. We gotta keep ourselves interested, but I think that's what
that
happens
is.
with every older band.
Yeah.
Like us.
Literally.
No, that's interesting. And has it ever happened when since you're playing for the kids and such a different audience, right? I mean, has it ever happened that I guess I'm trying to know that, do you first record these songs and then you're playing it out and they're like, that one went well, that one did not? Or is it sometimes also being the other way around? You have these sounds, you've not gone to the studio, you've not recorded, or wherever you record, you actually have played the whole new album out live, and then you're getting a lot of feedback as you're seeing how people are reacting to it. Have you done that a lot, or is that the process too?
First, it was definitely we've recorded these songs, the album is done, now we're performing. And I think the longer
Hmm.
we've like, for example, this summer, as we work on this next album, we're recording things in the studio, but we're definitely giving them the trial run this summer.
Right,
Uh,
right.
to get that feedback from the audience and for us to, I feel like, feel more comfortable in that
Yeah.
song before we record it. And
Yeah.
really have a solid idea of, yep, this works, this didn't, we got to tweak this
Mm.
before all the way down.
Well, in
Because
some
it
of
can shape it. Yeah, it can shape differently, right? Some of the songs, at least.
our songs we've noticed, we think we've got like a really clever lyric. Like we really like Not Another Dinosaur song, which is a fun
Hmm.
song. film in the science museum and all that. But then the kids don't quite recognize lyrics as much as the parents. And like you kind of wonder if we would have changed the music, would it hit differently? Like how do you get it both so both musically catches the kids' attention and lyrically catches the kids and the parents? And that's where it's that fine
No,
line. You know, some songs are more lyrically based and the kids aren't paying attention to that in a live setting. But you don't just you want to figure out what you can do to get their attention to where it should be.
And I think that's
right,
part of the
right.
fun of playing live too. For the things that we've recorded, we definitely play things differently live for
Of course.
Only the two
few
of us.
songs, right? And so I think that, even if it's already recorded, we go, oh yeah, that worked for the recording. But now when we play it live, here's how we're going to tweak it to make it more
Mhm.
entertaining as a live
Yes.
performance.
So, understood. So there is really something special about the fact uh, that some of your earliest feedback came from, if I'm right, Christina student, right? And
Yeah.
basically a built-in, it's like basically a built-in test with a zero filter. So,
Yeah.
It's a
so
safe space
Yeah.
for us because,
uh,
I have that
Yeah.
relationship with the kids. I love those students. They love coming in my room, and so they're also not afraid to be like, "That was kind of weird," or "I don't know about that one," which is nice, even though that doesn't happen very often. But I always tell
Well,
the kids, "Well, you're gonna like what you like," and then I file it away and go, "Okay, maybe we need to
well,
revisit
and
that."
with kids, the one thing you find with you can't just keep forcing it at them if they don't like it. They're not gonna all of a sudden be like, "Oh yeah, some reviewer said it was clever." They're not because they don't care, and they aren't scrambling
Right.
to see what people like. It's like, "Oh, that song hits me. I like that one." Oh, it's a good way to litmus.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
it's
it's always
really
really
interesting,
interesting.
right? Yeah, go ahead.
And I was
Yeah.
always interesting to see which
Mm.
songs my
Mhm.
students kind of attach themselves to. Again, like Todd had mentioned a song that we do called Not Another Dinosaur Song. And we thought this song was like great. And it is. And the video is great. But when I asked my students about which song they like best, I like definitely this. I like Transylvania Town. We thought it was wildly clever. And it's fun to play live, but I think it just never built up the steam that we thought it was gonna have.
Because there's so many words, and I don't think it doesn't hit you like a Panda Bear does. Like just chicken.
But Jellyfish Chicken, man, everybody loves that song because you can see, you know what I mean? And so, or we have another song called Aquaphobic Scuba Diver. It's basically about a scuba diver who's afraid of water. And it's this really kind of slower, very repetitive song. The videos, like just in my town, like with Todd walking around in a scuba suit, but my students love it. They love it.
And then when we
And
play it live, though,
and who
it's
comes up?
lovely
Who
to play it
comes up with
live.
these? Who comes up with the song names? The song names. Who comes up with the names?
Todd.
I will say, I think the big mistake, we should have said scuba diver afraid of water. Because all of a sudden on YouTube and stuff, you say aquaphobic scuba diver. Nobody knows what that is, and it doesn't get suggested to anything.
Yeah,
Where
yeah, okay.
you gotta actually think about these things now. Where, if we would have just called it scuba diver and then in parentheses afraid of the sea, it probably would have made a
Right,
lot.
right.
No kid knows what
Such a crazy way we live in of algorithms and how things
Isn't it?
get picked versus not picked, and oh my god, it's
Well,
just crazy.
well, how many band names are out there with the weird like double V instead of a W, and just like weird little umlauts and all that, just so they're Google
Yeah,
Yeah,
Googleable. That's the word.
yeah, crazy,
interesting.
crazy.
Well, no, and I don't know if it's good or
Amazing
bad.
though.
It's the way it is.
Yeah, yeah. You know, talking more about the craft and writing for kids and everything, and a lot of your song ideas, and I'm saying this respectfully, are delightfully absurd. French Toast Day, Baby Python, Spooky Cat. So when a ridiculous idea hits, how do you know whether it's just funny for 5 minutes or whether it actually has song potential?
Yeah, I'll be really honest and tell you, Spooky Cat is the example.
Okay.
Todd I think it was a fall because
Yeah.
it was fall time and it was Halloween time. And so Todd's like, hey, I got this song called Spooky Cat, and I just happened to be over at his house one night, and he's like, "Just listen to a little bit of it," and he's singing it for me, and I'm like, "I don't know. This is a little." And then, like, a week later, he's like, "Oh, I've been singing it all around the house, and now my kids are singing it, and now they can't get it out of their head."
Because it's like spooky cat, meow, meow, spooky cat, meow, meow. And I'm like, that's a hit. And
And by the second, third time, I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that's pretty catchy." And so we laid
Yeah.
it down, and it's one of our favorite songs to play
yeah,
live.
you start playing it, the kids don't even know it, and all of a sudden, like, you hear every kid in the audience and the parents, meow, meow.
Meow, meow.
Like, that's tough. And it works.
Oh,
But and there's one or two that I'm just like, no, this is really good. It's same with jellyfish chicken. I was cutting up a chicken. My wife bought it from Costco, and I started singing like Robert Johnson or something. Like, what did I say? I want a jellyfish chicken in my home because I don't want them chicken bones. And I just made up this little song on the spot about how it'd be cool if we could merge the DNA of a jellyfish with the DNA of a chicken. And then would you get a boneless chicken or a chicken that would sting you? And that was the whole song. And I think you came over the next morning. And I don't know about that one. And then that's like our big hit.
Yep.
So
So
wow.
what I guess we're saying is that Todd comes up with these absurd ideas, and it takes me a few days to maybe like think on it and just roll it up before I'm all in.
I think songs are
Are
passionate.
you really thinking on it, or you're looking like, oh my god, this guy's crazy?
I forget it before next practice. And usually when I'm really like chicken pot pie too. Like there's a sign that goes chicken pot pie, chicken pot pie, chicken pot pie. He's like this is horrible. And then he went out to New York and played a show, and a radio announcer came up to her. And she said, "I got one thing to say to you. Chicken pot pie, chicken pot pie." And
I'm like,
oh my god.
and I am ready to admit when I'm wrong, and and say, "Yep, you're right. I should have listened to you the first time instead of the third time."
I think she just says no, and then she just sees how worked up I get about the song. And then if I keep pushing, she'll finally be like, "Fine, do the song. We can always leave it off the album."
Well, usually 9 times
Yeah.
out of 10, Todd's ideas are great. And and I think that's, again, a testament to the trust that we have with each other, too, in the years that we've been doing this together and developing
Right.
that relationship and that musicianship. So,
Yeah.
that's the fun part,
Yeah,
too.
but we have put out clunkers now.
No.
I really feel actually jealous of this today's generation of the kids because like we had a wonderful children's artist before, like a Mr. Jeff, then Shawnee, and now I have heard your music. Like they have so much interesting things to learn from or to hear from, and I was like, I wish I could have been a little small child, and with you guys, I'm listening to your music, Johnny, and the Mr. Jeff's music. So
Well,
I feel
think
they're
that's the
very
beauty
lucky.
of it. You can be an adult and still enjoy it, too. And I think
yeah,
that-
I am.
No, I was enjoying your songs. Yeah, I
It's
truly
really-
enjoyed that. Like I told you, like for me, it was like when I was listening to it, and I'm coming up with a question for that too. But when I was listening to your stuff, you know, as a musician, you know, myself, I was like, this is hilarious, but at the same time, this is entertaining, and at the same time, it's groovy, you know, and it's just keeps you. I could imagine, like, what if I was there in that situation? I mean, I would be listening to you guys. I mean, it's so fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I loved it.
And that's really the goal, right? To create fun music, because if it's not fun for kids, then why are we here doing it? So
Great.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, the part of this whole thing, like making the whole thing work and the building this project. So you have built this project while you both having a full-time jobs and a families. So also the recording on the weekend mornings, making this video basically almost no budget. So what has that kind of DIY rhythm taught you about creative discipline?
well, it's hard, right? Because Um, because there is so much going on with him. That's got his family. He's got his full time, my family and my full time job, and both of our kids are teenagers right now, and so like teenagers are in everything, and only two of our four kids can drive, so we're shuttling kids back and forth, and so I think um for me, I'm our video editor. I do all the videos, and so I have to really set a deadline for myself.
Hmm.
And those deadlines get pushed back. But overall, I try really hard to say, like, okay, we really want to put this video out by this date. So here's the date, and then back it up from there. So that way it can get done. Otherwise, it's really easy to just say, oh, I'm busy, or I'm tired, or all of the other excuses that you can come up with when things are going on. So for me, deadlines help.
I just honestly, I do music all the time. So it's kind of like I don't sit around and watch TV or anything. So if I have free time, I'm going to be probably down in the basement working on some sort of music just because that's what I love to
Wow.
do. And like I've thought about that. I'm 47 now. And I've thought about that. And
Wow.
like ever since I was 13, 14, I had a 4-track and I'd go down to the basement and I'd work on music. At lunch I read about music. When I have free time, I listen to music. And like it's my whole life.
Nice.
So it's nothing
Nice.
like
That's amazing.
I mean, what else would I do with my time? I run, but I get, and plus, I will say I do have the advantage of being the dad versus the mom. And I I tell my wife this. It's like I like to say 40-60, maybe there's a 35, 75, 65 split.
At your house?
At my house, there's a 10%, 90%. No, so there is the freedom, and luckily the kids are getting older, so they don't want us around.
No, although I will say one of the perks of this project has been having our kids involved in it. Our kids show up in our music videos often. I was just talking with a friend a few weeks ago, and we were just talking about one of the new videos that had come out, and she's like, it's so fun to watch the kids grow up through the videos and just to see how they've changed and kind of grown with our music too, which is really fun. And I think that as we look back on this, that will be something that I know I take with me, just to have that, I don't know, that moment that you have, the creative moment with your kids. And I also think
Right.
it's great for them to see us doing these things as adults, these ridiculous songs, and having fun making music just for the sake of having fun making music. We don't do it necessarily for all of the fame that we have here in Minnesota, which isn't a ton, right? But we do it because it's fun and because we enjoy doing it and we enjoy writing and making music. And so I think for our kids to see that, we can find that joy as adults, I think, is a really powerful message to send to them.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
yeah.
Go ahead, Suraj.
And yeah. So the little bit question out of the subject. While I was talking to you, I was I got interested in those paintings behind which you have hung on walls. So who's the guy? Oh, Tina. Okay. So is there any
Yeah.
special liking for the domes? Like I am seeing the
Nice.
common part is the domes. A lot
Oh,
of domes
Yeah.
structures.
yeah. Actually, my husband and I took a trip to Italy a couple of years ago, and we were
Okay.
in Palermo in Sicily and walking through a little art shop. And so we bought a bunch of the prints and shipped them over and framed them. And so, yeah, that's all different
It was
cathedrals in Sicily.
where was it in Italy? Because me and my wife are just going there for 2 weeks now in June. Where?
Oh, I'm
Which part of
super
Italy?
jealous. We were in Sicily, in Palermo, and
Sicily
yeah,
and Palermo.
yeah, it's lovely. Are you doing like all the usual stops?
Yeah, we still have to. We booked our flights and everything. You just have to book hotels now, and yeah, we're trying to do 2 weeks, so we're trying to do as much as we can.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for that. Yeah.
Oh, trip of a lifetime. It was amazing. Florence is my favorite. You'll have a great time.
You can buy some
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I may, we interviewed the gentleman Roberto on our show. It's on YouTube. He's a maestro. He's like composer slash He's amazing.
Pianist.
Pianist, and he's just amazing. So, in fact, he's in Milan, and he was like, "Hey, if you ever come down here," I'm like, "I'm going to take you on that. I might come down there," and
Yes.
we were just planning, and I'm like, "We can have a coffee." Or he's like, "Yeah, please come to my studio," and he was super chill. Yeah,
Isn't it amazing all the people you can meet? I know doing this, we
yeah,
meet people all over, and it's just like, yeah,
yeah,
coffee for
yeah.
people, when they're in the area.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just started doing this, and it's some amazing folks we're meeting, and we were not only restricting it to music going forward. You'll see there's a lot of different people we're going to have from different industries, but again, anything related to art. Again, it has to be art related, and it has to be something they've been doing professionally, or even like just for fun, but something they've really grown at. So you'll see a lot of people slowly
very
come. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Moving on, you were talking about your kids growing through the music videos and everything. So I want to talk to you about your music videos and also your live performances. They seem to carry the same energy, not only the music videos, but the live performances, like the costumes, the absurdity, the spontaneity, and a sense that anything could happen. So how intentional are you about creating not just songs, but a whole Todd and Tina universe?
First off, I like that idea of the Todd and Tina universe.
The TNT universe. We gotta get a amusement park.
Oh, that's
An
it.
amusement park.
That's
anyway.
what we'll
That's what we'll do. We'll shoot for an amusement park, TNT experience.
the next level. Well, I would really say the videos at first just started off as okay, well, we're musicians now. We should kids consume music through videos, right? So let's make some videos. And okay, what's our budget? 0. Okay, so now what are we gonna do? And so I think the first video we shot was French Toast Day. Is that right?
Yeah, that or dermatologist, but
Yeah.
and you'll notice the camera angles get more advanced as our videos get more advanced because we're like, oh, we know how to edit. At first, like French Toast Day, it was like a stagnant shot. It was like an okay, go video. It's like, all right,
Go.
go.
And so
Yeah.
that was a skill actually I picked up during COVID, teaching online, learning
Mhm.
how to videos. And so, iMovie became my favorite tool to use for that. And so, I think it's just trying to figure out how we can do things on a short budget and be ridiculous and fun. And I think it is intentional. I mean, we definitely go in with, here's what we want this video to look like. And we have all those shots planned out and the components to it. And then sometimes the whole piece doesn't come together until the end. Like we know we want this and this here. Like we have all of these shots, and now as I compile it, I think it's really fun. Once I get into it, like, because it's a puzzle, right? And you just have to
Yeah.
pull these right shots into that right moment of the song. And then I feel like as it comes together all of a sudden, right, you put that last piece and you're like, that's it.
Yeah. And
Well,
there's also the even with your kind of music, I mean any art form, any kind of, music, especially what people do. I mean, there's that storytelling aspect to it, right? When you're editing, you're just not cutting transitions and done. No, it's a storytelling, right? It has to still, even for kids, it's still telling a story, right?
Right.
Yeah, and definitely even at this point I just stay out of the videos.
Well, you
I show up. Well, yeah, Candy, moms, obviously. I mean, like at this point, like we're shooting something and she'll have her script, and like sometimes she gets really intense and focused on stuff, and I'll just stand back and just be like, all right, let me know when you need me. I'm just gonna stay out of the way. Like when we were shooting at the Science Museum, it was very like, we've got 3 hours, go. And tell me where to stand, I'll play and look excited. And to her credit, she does a great job at it.
And again, I think
Amazing.
that's that trust that we have with each other, right? Of like Todd is the song idea guy, but I can be the video person. And so like, all right, we all know our lane and that's where we work in.
Cool.
And
Very
usually,
nice.
yeah, when we're writing the songs, we're always like, oh, this would be a good video. This would be a good video. So Usually that's when we know when we have an album, when we have 10 songs, and we're like, this would be a good video. This would be a good video. And then obviously time gets in the way, and we're like, okay, let's do at least 3 or 4 songs.
Yeah.
New
Got it.
videos.
Now, moving ahead and talking about your live performances, like you have now played more than 100 shows, and the Star Tribune described you as becoming staples for Twin Cities kids concerts. So,
Mhm.
what have live audiences taught you that recording in a basement studio never could?
I think it's just fun to watch kids sing the words. And
Mm,
as we first started this, obviously, we were new and nobody was really listening. And I think the more we've done this and the more repeat families that come every year, like we have the same that when we play at this specific location, this whole group of families is there. And then, and it bounces around because we are now going to a lot of the same places over and over that we played. And so I think the very first time, I'll never forget, we were playing a show and I was watching the kids and there were kids singing the words with us. And I'm like, at the end of the show, I looked at Todd, I said, they know the words. And
Yeah.
he's like, really? I said, we did. And so to me, that was really cool because that means that, yes, kids are here to see us live, which is awesome because there's nothing better than live music. But I think too, like they're listening to us at home and they're learning those words. And so just to me, that rewarding piece of like you're making, and there are people that like that art and want to listen to it a lot is really cool.
Yeah, and you make your stuff. We kind of make it in a vacuum, just in our basements, recording songs, not thinking we do something we like. So then it's super exciting when other people like it. I know we were playing one show, and during our song Pirates and Parrots, we always give out eye patches with our website, creative little branding trick. And like, we were playing, and then all of a sudden, some kid runs in, and he's wearing an eye patch from a previous show, and we're like, wait, what?
We haven't done that song yet, but you've got your iPad ready.
He remembered us from a different thing, and then begged his mom to come out to the show and watch us. I think we got confused in the song.
It was
It was like, wait, whoa, what? Like, so it's kind of fun to watch it build, especially, I mean, see the excitement because we have fun with it.
I have a coworker too whose 2 kids are like 4 and 5, and she was telling me um, that they play Todd and Tina in their basement, and they sing songs, and they argue over who's gonna be Todd and who's gonna be Tina, and just again, I
They
think
all want to be the singer.
of course they do.
Yeah.
And so but I just think it's so fun that, again, you make that art and we make it because we think it's fun, and now other people are enjoying it too. So that's the fun of live shows for me.
wow.
Interesting,
It-
interesting.
it's so fulfilling to it's and always to have put a smile on these kids' faces, and one of the things I just reminded me when we were talking to either Shawnee or Jeff or one of those guys. I think it was Shawnee, and one of the things he said was, "Well, it's not the kids are enjoying their dancing and whatnot when when he's playing, but it's also." You have to kind of entertain the parents too, in a way, right? Otherwise, they're not going to come. They're not going to get the kids right? Is that
Yeah.
true?
Right. We definitely have a couple covers in our live shows that we put in,
Okay.
and they're for the adults, right? We do a little mashup of take
Creedence,
yeah, go ahead.
Creedence Clearwater Revival and John Denver. Take Me Home, Country Road, and
Right.
Look at the Back Door.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're conveniently the same chords.
And so and adults here know this, right? And so like we'll put a song like that in. We'll put a little Wham in there.
Hmm.
We'll put a little Whitney Houston at the like a little chorus of one of her songs for one of our dancing songs. And so I think
Nice.
that just kind of is a way for the audience to go, "Oh, hey, wait, I know that song. Yes."
Yeah.
That's nice
You
to
know,
hook 'em.
Well, it's hard to bring new music in front of anybody, as you know, as a musician, and
right,
so
right.
just to get that attention, but then, yeah, you're kinda shooting at both levels, and on top
Got
of
it.
that, you're hoping they pay attention to the lyrics, but at the same time, lots of times we give the kids egg shakers and all this other stuff, so they're making noise too, and it's like a little punk rock. It's like a little mosh pit of beef burgers.
Mosh pit of kids.
A mosh pit of
That's
kids.
funny.
Luckily, lots of them don't have teeth, so if they get knocked out, you don't have to worry.
You know, How has it felt to you guys to see Todd and Tina become such a real part of people's lives? In the Twin Cities, and with kids already knowing the words and even asking for songs in the parking lot after the set. Um,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and as you look ahead after 4 albums, the Todd Parr songs, and now the Color Weasel, what still feels most exciting about where this journey can go next?
I think that's the big question, right? Where does it go? Where does it continue to go? Um,
Hmm.
and make it fun for us
Hmm.
and make it fun for our audiences
Absolutely, yeah, yeah,
and make it manageable for us, for the both of us who, again, are still maintaining full-time jobs and families. And I think
right.
that's
Yeah.
the biggest trick.
For me, I just like the creativity of it. I just like to keep writing songs, and I know even Chrissy would be fine probably if I didn't keep pushing new songs all the time because I'm always like, here's a new one, here's a new one, and we found like a nice. We got the first records out, and now we're kind of like on an every other year cycle with a new record, which is manageable because you still got to make videos for the songs, you still got to promote, you still got to play live, and but you still want the creative excitement because I feel like we're still writing our best stuff. So hopefully it
Yeah.
keeps going. Like I still get excited to like send her a song and be like, I think this one's really good. And
Well, and it is. It's fun to create new things, certainly.
Mm,
But I love the live shows too. Like to me, that's just such a dopamine hit watching those kids have fun
Absolutely.
and yeah, it's just I don't know. It's summertime and it's warm and we're outside and we're all having fun and that's great.
hey, sometimes you come home with some vegetables.
That's right.
It, it's like the wedding singers. They pay us in meatballs.
Oh, that's so funny. That's interesting. No, the mosh pit which you are just talking about, it reminded me there was renditions of Metallica's Lullaby editions. It's like all Metallica songs made in a more of a lullaby kind of like simple music, like for a children's listening purpose. So it just
Really?
reminded me that thing. Yeah, there is it is available on YouTube. It is released in 2010 or 10-11
yeah,
era that time.
yeah, long time
Yeah,
ago. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to look
Nice.
that up. That's outstanding.
Yeah, no, it is. It is funny, like because kids they don't care. They're just like, "We'll be playing," and then like sometimes I'll see a kid like just walk behind the stage, go past Chrissy, and you're like, "That's where her sound system is," and she's pretty good about being like, "Oh, let's wrangle them back, let's wrangle them back," and it is kind of always this random event,
And
happenstance.
well, and that's the fun thing too. You just never know what's gonna happen too, right? I mean, we can prepare and practice, but
right.
that element of, oh, what's a kid gonna do today? What's a kid gonna say? Um, we ask for audience participation, of course, in our shows. And so it's always fun to just hear like, what did they have for breakfast today? And now we're gonna weave that. So
No,
Nice,
it's
nice.
really interesting what you guys are doing for our kids, and I feel these kids are very lucky, like having artists like Todd and Tina, then Jeff, Mr. Jeff, then Shawnee. Like you, all guys are doing wonderful work, and for that, huge
Yeah,
respect from all of us.
thank
yeah,
you
yeah.
so
Seriously,
much. Hey,
and
I
we're
was
not just saying it; we
in
mean it.
my
Yeah.
classroom today too. We were talking about 6/8 time signature in my fifth grade classroom today, and we were listening to some Metallica. Nothing else in 6/8
Really?
time. So I
Okay.
always love a very like the age group of kids now, of course, they're like not really super familiar with Metallica unless they
Uh,
have a grown up at home, right? That's listening to
Right,
it. And so
right.
there's always that one kid that's like, I've heard this song before. And so
It's I teach guitar at my kids, my middle school kids' school, just 1 hour a week, and actually Metallica's Nothing Else Matters is one of those songs because it's just open E, G, D, E,
yeah,
you know, just open to
yeah,
everything,
yeah,
like, the
Yeah,
first 2 bars of Nothing Else Matters.
yeah.
music
yeah. One,
education.
one of my favorite songs actually of Metallica.
It's
One of
great.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. No, really, Todd'n'Tina, thank you so much spending this time with us. Like, we really appreciate the joy, creativity, and care you bring to music that welcomes kid in without ever talking down to them.
Hmm.
It's really great.
Thank
Thank you so much. I mean,
That's so kind of you. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really this conversation is a reminder that silliness can still be art and fun, and that fun when made with heart can connect across every age, right? I mean, so what you guys are doing is just so amazing, and you're bringing smiles in in the lives of these kids and their families and everything. So cool. If I'm ever down in Minnesota, I'll come for one of the shows.
Oh yeah, for sure. Anytime you're ready for cold, come on up.
I'll walk behind the stage.
We're going to plug something. We'll give you a shaker and a puck.
That's cool.
Hey, have a good time in Italy.
Yeah. And to everyone who's listening, thank you so much for being here with us. Please go check out Todd and Tina's YouTube channel. Do listen to their music on Apple Music, Spotify, and all major streaming platforms. Go on their Instagram, do DM them, ask them questions. They are so loving family, and beautiful artist. So please don't forget to follow them. And if this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone, and we will see you in the next episode of the Artist Conversation. Bye.
Yep.